I am very excited to be speaking with Micheal Gerber. Welcome, Michael.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
We've had a lot of authors on this show, and you have to be by far the most best-selling. I don't know how many millions of copies of your book, E-Myth, and then the follow-up, which is the one that I read a number of years ago, E-Myth Revisited, you've sold, but it has to be a lot. But for those who aren't familiar with you and your work, can you just describe who you are and what you do these days?
Sure. Well, I'm Micheal E Gerber. I'm the author of 28 e-myth books. And I started this enterprise way back in 1977. And since 1977, I've been working on behalf of small business owners throughout the world in 145 countries. My books are taught in 118 universities. Our work is known by anybody and everybody who's interested in productivity, interested in growth, interested in effective practices and process, interested in entrepreneurship, and the transformation I call of small business worldwide. So that's what I do, and that's what I'm continuing to do. And I just celebrated my 80th birthday.
Congratulations! That is wonderful, and you're still serving and helping others. I understand you have a big overall mission for this last book, which we'll get into in a moment. But I'm just curious. 1977. What are some of the changes that you've seen over the past 40 years of your writing and your teaching and your basically serving small business owners and helping them be more productive, more useful, more successful?
Well, one could say everything's changed. And on the other hand, one could say nothing's changed. So the everything that's changed is technology. So the increasing application of technology to just about everything on the face of the earth, but the decreasing effectiveness of small businesses. So, on the one hand, the technology that enables you to do everything on the face of this earth has expanded exponentially. And the utilization of that technology by everybody on the face of this earth has decreased exponentially. In reality, most small businesses fail today just like they did in 1977. And that's truly remarkable when you think about it. So, what hasn't changed is people. So, people are as resistant to order and organization today as they were when I first met those people in 1977. People are still doing it, busy, 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 knocking their brains out, trying to make a business work. And yet, despite all of the coaches on the planet, despite all of the business books on the planet, despite all of the writing and experts on the planet and technology on the planet, everybody's sucking wind. Now, why is that? Is the reason for the new book.
You said that, and I couldn't agree more. Technology is something that we deal with a lot, and it's amazing what you can do with it, and it's amazing how bad it can distract you. It's a very good servant, but a terrible master. And I'm wondering, you said that businesses are failing in the same way. How is that? How is that they're failing? What's the common mistakes that people are making that that really cause them to fail? Is it a failure of thinking? Is it mindset? Is it having the right strategy?
Well, it's been since you first met me in my book, The E-Myth Revisited. The E-Myth is the entrepreneurial myth. And it essentially is the primary reason most small companies fail, because most people who own their own company, their own small company, whether that be a job, whether that be a practice, whether that be a true business or an enterprise, most aren't truly entrepreneurs. They're technicians suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure. So effectively, they go to work to become their own boss, and they end up doing everything, but they do everything badly. because they only do one thing well. And the one thing they do well is the one thing they love to do, almost always. Now, the other part of that equation is that they don't do the thing they do well as it could be done. And so my entire perspective, you might say the paradigm I brought to the millions of people who've read my books, is that idea that the world isn't what you think it is. The world is completely different than what you think it to be. And in order to approach the world and relate to the world, you need to take on a completely different mindset. And I say when it comes to a commercial organization called a company, whether that be a company of one or a company of 1,000, one has to take on the mindset of an entrepreneur. And so that's the ball game. What's missing in the picture? Entrepreneurs. Problem is, people tell you entrepreneurs are born, not made. Well, in reality, that's true, but it doesn't need to be true. Because entrepreneurs, we have proven, can be made by simply changing a technician's mindset and awakening the entrepreneur within them.
That was the big takeaway I got from eMyth, and you've got a very nice story of, I believe it's is it Ashley or Sarah or Lisa's? Whose pie
Sarah.
store is that? That's Sarah. That's what I thought it was.
Sarah, yeah.
So Sarah had a pie store, and she suffered from what you called an entrepreneurial seizure, and she had the technician mindset, the craft mindset, the person who really enjoyed baking lovingly, making these pies. I can still remember. I actually Googled to see if there was a store for when I first listened to the book. I was like, man, this sounds like a great place to go. I want to have some of her pies. Can you, just for people who haven't read the book yet, describe the 3 different personalities that are needed for a successful small business or business in general, because your new book talks about how to go from a business of 1 to a business of 1,000. But you mentioned the technician. You also mentioned the entrepreneur. The other person in there in that equation is the manager. Can you quickly describe those 3 roles and how they play out in a small business?
Oh, yeah. The entrepreneur is the dreamer. The entrepreneur is the thinker, the storyteller, the leader. The entrepreneur has a picture of the future. The entrepreneur is truly invested in making the world a better place. Whatever the product, whatever the service, whatever the business is irrelevant. The entrepreneur is in the future. The manager is in the status quo, meaning the manager wants to keep things in order. So the manager is in fact constantly working to keep control of what is always going out of control. The technician is the doer, the producer. You're a producer right now. You're a technician right now. I'm a technician right now. I'm doing my job. You're doing your job. You understand? That's what a technician does. Technician does the job. What's the job? Producing results. What are the results? Well, they may be sales results. They may be product performance. They may be manufacturing results. Whatever they are. Technicians doing it. The problem is that most business owners are non-entrepreneurs, are terrible managers, but are slavish technicians. So they're always, as I say, doing it, busy. And because they're always doing it, busy, they never do see the future of their company differently. They're never truly creating order. What in fact they're creating almost all the time is chaos. Because when a technician surrounds himself with people are always a problem. When a manager surrounds himself with people are always a problem. When an entrepreneur surrounds himself with people are always a problem until the manager invents the system in order to manage the outcome that those people are here to produce. And until that link is made with the outcome that we're here to produce and the system we design to produce it, we can't even begin to think of a brand. because a brand of a business comprises just that, an outcome we produce and a system designed to produce it. That's critical. And once that's seen, and it's only seen by the entrepreneur, it's never seen by the technician, and it's never seen by the manager without an entrepreneur, because a manager without an entrepreneur doesn't have a vision. A manager without an entrepreneur is just trying to keep things from getting broken. So it's a very nasty experience being with a manager without an entrepreneur, because the manager's trying to control everything and the technician can't spare being controlled. So you got this, you know what I mean? Yeah, this contest between the two, and it's always a disaster.
Now, I know you don't love this term, but I'm going to use it just because it's useful for me here. What would you say to the solopreneur, the one person band, maybe the business that's not really quite a business, maybe it's a little bit more of a job? He's one person. How can he be the technician and the entrepreneur and the manager? And then after this one, I really want to ask you about the dreaming room, because that's something very interesting to me. But just like, that's the question when you were talking, it was like, well, okay, well, now I'm the technician. Or maybe in some people's cases, they're the entrepreneur and they need some technicians and they need some managers. Or maybe they're a manager and they need the other two roles.
The designation solopreneur was invented by an entrepreneur. It was invented by an entrepreneur to pander to all of those guys who are doing it, busy, to elevate their self-perception. You follow me? Mm-hmm. You're a solopreneur. You have a lifestyle business. All that language is all marketing. It's all market speak. In short, get out of there. Because nobody who calls himself a solopreneur is an entrepreneur. Not. They're simply somebody working for a living. Mm-hmm. Now, they may love working for a living, but you got to understand they love working for a living right now. But right now, in terms of mortality, is always different than what then. And what then is, you're getting older, Zachary. You know, you're a nice young man. I'm 80. So you understand, I understood mortality when I was your age. Most people don't. Most people don't think of the future other than hoping they're going to have one. Hoping that everything's going to go well. Well, I don't believe we are going to create anything by living in hope. I believe instead we're going to create something by living intentionally. And so I want to engage every single individual in a company of one, and that's your solopreneur, in a company of one, a guy doing it, busy, whatever it be, whatever he's doing. I want to engage him, I want to engage her in a conversation, an uncharged conversation. Now, they'll understand when they come into that conversation that I have a completely different point of view than they do. In short, I'm suggesting they don't know something they absolutely need to know. And I'm going to share with them what that is that they absolutely need to know, because they are depriving themselves of experiences that, in fact, will provide them with an internal growth, an internal joy, something completely other than what they're experiencing today in their small world. I'm saying there's a bigger world here for every single one of us. I want to wake you up to it.
So what is that awakening that we need to know as somebody who is doing it? I might disagree a little bit in the sense that I don't think we're not thinking about the future. A lot of times it can be a trap, always being very, very future oriented. It causes a lot of anxiety. People are, but maybe they're just not thinking the right things, or they're not thinking strategically. That's where your idea comes in. I've only had the opportunity to read the intro to the book. I found out that it was coming out a little too late to get the whole copy sent to me.
Yeah.
But what is that thing that you are referring to?
Well, the thing I'm referring to is the entrepreneur. So essentially, I'm saying the entrepreneur, the entrepreneurial personality, exists within every human being on the planet. The problem is we're deprived of that experience because the entrepreneur challenges the status quo always. So you understand, I'm called the chief aggravator. So in short, when I talk to a solopreneur, I'm pissing everybody off. Pissing him off because I'm bringing to that person a completely different perspective about the world, and it is threatening to them. So I'm bringing to you a completely different paradigm. And I'm saying the one who's thinking about the future as a solopreneur is the technician. You understand? It's not the entrepreneur. The technician is thinking about the future as it relates to survival. The entrepreneur is thinking about the future as it relates to expanded opportunity. Expanded opportunity is threatening, and it's most threatening to a technician who is terrified of growth. Because growth represents out of controlness. Meaning, whenever something comes and happens where I'm expected to grow, get more resources, get more people, chaos ensues. I lose control. I lose control of what? My little fiefdom. I lose control of my space. I lose control of who I am and what I know how to do. And suddenly I'm being asked to do something I have no idea how to do. And that's terrifying. So the new thing that I'm bringing to them is the paradigm of an entrepreneur. So where the three personalities we talked about of a small business owner, the entrepreneur, the manager, the technician, in Beyond the E-Myth, the evolution of an enterprise from a company of one to a company of 1,000, I'm now taking apart the entrepreneur. And the entrepreneur is four very clear personalities. The first is the dreamer. The second is the thinker. The third is the storyteller. And the fourth is the leader. The dreamer has a dream. The thinker has a vision. The storyteller has a purpose. And the leader has a mission. This is not just rhetorical. This is actual. This is pragmatic. The dreamer has a dream. In my case, in 1977, when I launched the Michael Thomas Corporation, I had a dream. My dream, expressed explicitly in 1977, was to transform the state of small business worldwide. That was the dream underlying founding of the Michael Thomas Corporation. The vision of the Michael Thomas Corporation was to become the McDonald's of small business consulting. To become the McDonald's of small business consulting. Now you might say, well, what's that? You'll understand that momentarily. My purpose at the Michael Thomas Corporation is way back in 1977. The dream, the vision, the purpose. The purpose was to enable every independent small business owner to be as successful as a McDonald's franchisee was. Now, how in the world could that happen? Well, that was our mission. So our mission was to invent a business development system, a turnkey operating system to design, build, launch, and grow a small company. Just like McDonald's did. Turnkey. So that in fact, the outcome would be consistent, congruent with the dream, congruent with the vision, congruent with the purpose, congruent with the mission. And that's what we set out to do. So that's what Beyond the E-Myth is about. I decided that I had made this process much too complicated. In short, because most of the small businesses who do the E-Myth only do it so far. In short, I'm not there. I can't say, no, not like that, like this. No, not like that, like this. Zachary, shape up. Zachary, you follow me? I can't do that. The coaches did that. But still, There was this resistance on the part of the technician, the client, the small business owner to do that. I had to find a better way to communicate it. That's what I'm on now, starting out my 80th year. To transform the state of small business worldwide in earnest and becoming the preeminent provider of economic development services worldwide. I'm saying you can turnkey anything. And only once you've turnkeyed something that is driven by a dream, a vision, a purpose, and a mission will you be able to get what I'm really sharing with you. Once you get what I'm really sharing with you, Zachary, it's like mind-blowing. Holy moly. So here's the other thing. The other thing that makes the difference is rather than going to work on what we call Oldco, capital O-L-D, capital C-O, Oldco, that's the company you got right now. Rather than going to work on, as I say in E-Myth terms, going to work on it, not in it, rather than going to work on Oldco, and beyond the E-Myth, I'm saying we have to go to work on Newco. Rather than fixing the business you got, let's invent the business you want. And start with a blank piece of paper and beginner's mind. That's what the Dreaming Room is all about. It's the platform for building Newco. It's the platform upon which you're going to grow this sensational company turnkey so that at that point in time, it will be ready for sale. So you understand a business is solely a product. It's a product for sale. For sale, meaning it might go public like McDonald's did, or it might be acquired like so many companies are by companies who are hungry for scalable companies. So it's like create a scalable company like that.
What if Oldco is keeping the lights on?
Well, you keep.
How do you create Newco and Oldco while maintaining Oldco?
Well, you do it. Go to Northrop online, Northrop Engineering. Go to Northrop Engineering, and you'll see there's Skunk Works. It's called a Skunk Works. It's where they're working on their new companies. And go see all the new things they're doing at North. What did I call it?
Northrop.
Yeah. Look at all. It's mind-blowing. So you can do that with one new thing. Forget about all those new things. Just one new thing. You don't just shut your business down. You keep on doing it. You just don't spend all your time and your money and your energy and your hopes and so forth on it. You just allow it to do what it does, producing income. It's a source of income. Newco is not a source of income. It's a source of equity. You follow me? Newco is over here in the Dreaming Room. See your office over here, apart from what you're doing right now. See your office over here with whiteboards on all the walls. And a chair, a rolling chair right in the middle. And see yourself going from one whiteboard to the next whiteboard to the next whiteboard. You're inventing Newco. You're inventing this great, wonderful experience. There's a process for that. That's what we do.
That sounds fun. You still do those weekends where you can dive in and explore?
Listen, I'm inviting you for my first live Micheal Gerber Dreaming Room the past 3 years in San Diego on December 9th, 10th, and 11th. I am going to kick ass and take names. We're going to have no more than 100 people in that room. And I'm going to invite people who truly are excited about the whole idea of growing a new company without letting go of the one you've got. You don't have to get rid of your job, the job you've got. You simply got to create a business. And the process in the book describes it. It's only 113 pages, the book. So it's very, very simple. Step 1, step 2, there are 8 steps in this process. The first four I've already described: your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. People just sort of shine that on because it's sort of dreamy stuff. You understand, this is the most pragmatic, most important, most entrepreneurial stuff anybody can do, to discover what their dream is, their vision is, their purpose is, and their mission is, because that is the driver, the emotional, the energetic driver of everything you're going to do in the future. So it's got to be real. You're not just making this stuff up. You follow me? And we got to
It's like
find
that quote: if you have a good why, you can figure out any how. So the dream, the purpose, the mission, the vision, especially the dream though, is the why behind everything, correct?
You got it. Yep, the why and the what. You understand? The why and the what. The what. What are we going to produce? I'm going to transform the state of small business worldwide. That's my dream. I'm going to do that. Now, I've done that in one respect, but not really. Not to the degree I want to. I want to have an impact on everybody who owns a small business. Every single person on the planet who owns a small business. I want them to plug in to the power source. The power source. Just plug in. I want them to plug in to the power source to be able to actually grow a small company successfully, unlike anything they would have done until they met us. That's what I want to do. And I want people like you, I want people all over the planet passionate about this. It's a movement. It's a movement. It's beyond an enterprise. It's a movement. And that's what we're stimulating in these conversations. That's what we're stimulating in the dreaming room. That's what we're stimulating in the program that follows the dreaming room. Because following the dreaming room, you actually get online with one of my master facilitators who walks you through the steps, your dream, your vision, your purpose, your mission, to get them right, to get them clear, to get them real. So you say, that's it. Wow, that's it. You know that's it. That's why I'm here. That's what my calling is. And there you go.
You mentioned the first four steps. What are the remaining ones needed?
Let me tell you, the job, the practice, the business, the enterprise. The job, the practice, the business, the enterprise, the hierarchy of growth. You start out with the job in your client fulfillment system. So you have to go to work on the job, not just in the job, to perfect the client fulfillment system. That's the product. That's what you're selling. That's what you're delivering. That's what you're here to do. The eMyth Mastery program was the client fulfillment system. You understand? So in order to get there, you've got to build it. That's step one in the process of building NewCo. Step two is the practice. Now that I've turnkeyed the client fulfillment system, meaning now I can scale it. You follow? Now I can teach Murray to do it, Jerry to do it, Jim to do it, Judy to do it, everybody to do it. It's ready. They can do it because I can prove it. I can validate it. I can demonstrate it. I can teach it. I can train it. I can coach it. I can mentor it. I can produce a result using that client fulfillment system. Now I'm ready to put the pedal to the metal. Now I'm going to grow it, which is what? The practice, lead generation, lead conversion, and the final leg, client fulfillment. So now we're going to do the client acquisition element by developing the practice, which is the three-legged stool. Lead generation, lead conversion, turnkey. To do what? If I'm going to scale, meaning if I'm going to grow with Murray and Judy and John and Jim and Jerry and et cetera, and so delivering the client fulfillment system, now I've got to attract clients for them, customers for them. And that's what the client acquisition system enables me to do. So now that I've got the practice done, you got it? The client acquisition system, turnkey. This is how we get them. This is how we get them. This is how we get them. This is how many we get in order to fill the capacity of one coach, 2 coaches, 10 coaches, 90 coaches, chiropractors, heart surgeons, whatever it is. You understand? Now I'm going to create a business. So what's a business? A business is up to 7 turnkey practices plus a turnkey management system. So I got to manage up to 7 chiropractors. Now I've got to manage up to 7 surgeons. Now I've got to manage up to 7 web designers. Now I've got to manage up to 7 whatever. You follow me? Depending on what the client fulfillment system is. I got to create a management system to do that. So now I've got a business, and it's 7 times the size of a practice. And now I'm going to turnkey the business so that I can grow it. And what do you grow a business into? You grow a business into an enterprise. And the definition of an enterprise is nothing other than up to 7 turnkey businesses with a turnkey leadership system. The job, the practice, the business, the enterprise, the dream, the vision, the purpose, the mission. I can walk anybody through this process, and I tell you, Zachary, everybody can do it, provided their dream, their vision, their purpose, and their mission are real. So we got to make it real. We got to find reality, and we've got to find the juice, the energy, the passion that, in fact, for the outcome we're going to produce, not for the money we're going to make. And as we begin to do that, everything changes.
Well, your excitement is just flowing through my computer right now, and I'm definitely, especially having just read and listened to some of your material, a little bit more inspired. It does sound like for everybody out there that figuring out the results your company intends to produce, how they tend to do it, that actual system, that client fulfillment system is key. I've got a lot more questions, but we don't have very much time. So I thought maybe what would be very useful for people is for you to run through some of how you created this lead generation system, lead conversion system, client fulfillment system with your own business. How it looks for you. How did you go through these steps yourself?
Well, it was really very, very simple. First of all, when we started way back in 1977, we started to create the Michael Thomas Business Development Program. In short, we had a dream, I told you that, to transform the state of small business worldwide. We had a vision. That was to become the McDonald's of small business consulting. We had a purpose. Every independent business owner can be as successful as a McDonald's franchisee. And we had a mission to build the system. So we built that system. That was the first thing we did. Now, we didn't have it all done. You understand? We had enough of it done so we could practice it. Because you got to practice it in the field. You got to actually experience it in the field. You got to actually apply it to every small business, because that was the model, every small business, meaning it didn't matter what they did, didn't matter what they sold, didn't matter how they did it. This would be applied, applicable to every single one of them. So what was the very best way to attract people to it? Well, go out and invite them to a free seminar. So we just had marketing associates and straight commission going down the street, knocking on doors. Hi, you don't know me. I'm with the Michael Thomas Corporation. I want to invite you to the most extraordinary seminar for business owners ever created. It's actually free. And we're holding it on Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're holding it at Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening. It's 3 hours long. It's going to blow your mind. Which day would be best for you? Tuesday at 9 or Thursday at, you follow me?
Those sound like turnkey scripts as well.
Yes. Well, it is a script. And of course, the seminar's name was Key Frustrations in a Small and Growing Business and What to Do About Them. That was the name of the seminar. Key Frustrations in a Small and Growing Business and What to Do About Them. And so we invited people to a seminar. And we'd get 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 business owners in a seminar. And the first seminars were led by me. So in short, I wrote the script for the seminar. And then I did the script for the seminar. And then at the end of the seminar, we didn't sell anything. And we made that promise to every single one of the people who are coming. There's nothing to buy at the seminar. All there is at the seminar is to have your mind blown. What's going to happen when your mind blown? Your whole business is going to change. How's it going to change? It's going to improve. How's it going to improve? That's what you'll find out once you go through the seminar. It's really, really clear. So at the end of the seminar, we'd say to them, and tomorrow we're going to call you to schedule an hour and a half together with one of our senior marketing associates and you, the business owner who's been through key frustrations. And we're going to discover what the gap is between where your business is today and where it could be if you were to do what we talked about in the seminar. I have time at 10 on and I have time at 11 on. Which time would be best for you? So they scheduled an appointment to do a needs analysis. The needs analysis was 6 benchmarks, each of them turnkey, each of them scripted, each of them memorized. At the end of the needs analysis was the buying decision. And that's how we enrolled clients in the Michael Thomas Business Development Program. That system hasn't changed. Now, understand, I could say to every single person listening to me right now that if you were to have somebody walk down the street rather than use the internet, I don't say metaphorically walk down the street, I mean really physically walk down the street. If you were to have somebody walk down the street and walk into a small business, first of all, they'd be shocked. Nobody ever walks in their business. But if you were to do that, you'd suddenly have the opportunity to have a visual, emotional, functional, and financial impact on that person you're going to visit. That's your potential customer. What you're going to learn by doing that will blow your mind too. So my point is, getting the system together always starts with client fulfillment. Because client fulfillment really is the product of your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. You understand, without your dream, vision, purpose, and mission, client fulfillment is just creating something to sell. We're not creating something to sell. We're creating something to transform the state of small business worldwide. We're creating something that will create the McDonald's of small business consulting. We're creating something that will make it possible for an independently owned small business to be more effective than most independent businesses, but very much like a McDonald's franchisee. And we have a dream to produce a system for doing that. So the point is, when you get done with all this is how we do it here. This is how we do it here. Now we'll teach you. Now we'll teach you. No, not like that. Like this. No, not like that. Just like I learned how to play the saxophone. Just like I learned how to sell encyclopedias. Just like I learned how to frame a house. Just like I learned anything and everything that I've ever learned in my life. I've learned a system. No, not that way, this way. No, not that way, this way. That's my point. Nobody's doing that with small business owners. Not truly. They're doing a little part, or they're doing another little part, or doing another little part, but not doing the whole thing. It's the whole thing, Zachary. The whole thing. That's the point. The system is whole. One whole core operating system. Lead generation, lead conversion, client fulfillment, and the numbers, and the numbers, and the numbers. Quantification, orchestration.
Drop the mic. Michael, it has been an honor. I don't have time for the book ritual tool. I know you've got a lot of interviews to do for your forthcoming book, which I just want to mention it again, Beyond E-Myth, the evolution of an enterprise from a company of one to a company of 1,000. Your goal is to help small business owners not just raise their income, but raise the equity in their business. One of the things you say is that only 3% of small business owners actually sell. And so it's really honestly a job. You help people transform that. Where can people find out more about you and get connected with you?
So easy. Just go to www.beyondemyth, one word, beyondemyth, EMYTH.com. Go to Beyond eMyth. You'll be able to access a preview of the book. You'll be able to buy the book there. You'll be able to find out more and more and more about what we're doing. But go to Beyond eMyth. And if you just got to talk to Micheal Gerber, and this is, please understand, there's not much time in this day because I'm working on it and I'm not working in it. But you can find me at Gerber, Gerber, at michealegerber.com. Just email me and tell me what the impact of this conversation was.
My goodness. Well, I hopefully will respect your inbox. I know that's something that is a little bit in rather than on. But thank you so much. I'll let you get on to your next call, Michael. It's been a highlight of the year. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
And I will see you in December,
Absolutely.
9th, 10th, and 11th. You got it.
I
Just
gotta
ask
find
me.
out, figure out. I guess I know your email now. So
Make it
I'll
happen.
be emailing you soon, making it happen. Thank you.
You got it.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.